It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary, the beginning of the F's. Oh, wowie zowie. We are at the F's. You can probably tell if you have watched the E's that I have a slightly different setup here. I have rearranged my office. I brought in another desk. There will probably have been an episode before this airs about my new setup and my new lights. You can probably tell that the lighting is a little bit different. I'm still trying to sort of figure things out, like maybe let's bring in the microphone. I decided to actually put it on the stand for some reason and not handhold it. Now I have two hands that I can gesture with. So yeah, I'm getting used to it. This is the first episode. This might be too close because I still need to see what's in the book, which is here. So yeah, just want to say hello, hi, how you doing? I'm recording this super duper early so I can get going, because you know, inevitably there's going to be weeks where I can't record. I gotta go out of town for work, something like that. So let's do it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can quickly say I got a new light up there. I got a light over here. I'm going to tweak this over the next handful of episodes. I got another light in the back, but I don't know if they're doing much. So I just want to make it look prettier for you. I can't do anything about the face. I can't do anything about that, but I want to make it as pretty as possible. And of course, for those of you who are listening and not watching, you don't have any change, really. No change for you. Okay, enough of this chitter-chatter. It's time, ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, and not who identifies as not one of those, because we are inclusive here at the dictionary. It is now time to start the F's. The first word in this episode is the letter F. Every letter starts with this letter, with the letter of that letter. This is the first form of the letter F. It is pronounced F. It is spelled F. It is a noun from before the 12th century. And number 1A, getting right into it, it is the sixth letter of the English alphabet. 1B, a graphic representation of this letter. There's a pattern. We see this every time. 1C, a speech counterpart of orthographic, and then it shows the letter F. In italics, the fancy little F. A speech counterpart of orthographic F. So I guess that's the speech counterpart is you literally saying F. 2. The fourth tone of a C major scale. I don't know what C is. Ba. Maybe that's a C, maybe it's not. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, if that's not C, we can transpose it to get to C, and then the fourth one is F. And I don't know if there's a quick, easy way for me to play that sound, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that I have perfect pitch, and that was a C. Number 3 is a graphic device for reproducing the letter F. And this is probably maybe an old printing press or a stamp or something that looks like the letter F. And so you put that on there when you want to show the letter F. 4, one designated, and then it shows the letter F, one designated F, especially as the sixth in order or class, because it is the sixth letter of the alphabet, at least in the English alphabet. This is the sixth season of this podcast, and so if something, there's in ranking, right, sixth order or class, in order or class, there starts with A, and then it goes B, C, D, E, F. And I don't know, depending on the order or class, it could go all the way to Z, Z. It could go even further than that. So it all depends. Is F good? Is it bad? Does it not get one of those designations at all? It's just the 6th one in the order. F. This is a podcast F class. 5A. A grade rating a student's work as failing. And I think we probably talked about this at the beginning of the E's. Some schools, they use an A through E scale, which in a lot of ways makes more sense because you don't skip any letters. But some schools, the schools that I went to, we used an A, B, C, D, F scale. They said, no, we don't want E's. Let's get rid of the E's altogether because F stands for failing, and we need to make all that combined. We need to have the letter match the word. F for fail. I don't know why they couldn't just make it a 6-letter scale, a scale for grades, A, B, C, D, E, F. F could have been still failing, just maybe a little further down, or shrink the categories for A through E. I don't know. It's kind of silly. And then there's no standards. Some are A through E, some are A through F without the E. I don't know. 5B. One graded or rated with an F. So is this saying that the person or the thing that is graded as that F is called F? I'm not so sure. I don't know. 6. Something shaped like the letter F is F. F. What is shaped like the letter F that you call an F? Well, it's probably just an F. I feel like this is like a Sesame Street kind of thing. I want to see the letter F, a Muppet F, come walking in here. Oh, I wish that could happen. Well, we finished that one. We finished the first form of the letter F, and I guess I gotta make a sound effect now, which I totally forgot to do. I forgot to come up with a sound effect. I mean, I could just go F, because it's an F. The second form of F is an abbreviation for so many things. 21 things that start with the letter F that get abbreviated to the letter F. And they are, number 1, failure. 2, false. 3, family. 4, Faraday. 5, feast. 6, female. 7, feminine. 8, femto, which is a prefix, femto dash. I've heard of this before. It's like a femtosecond or something, right? It's very quick second. Number 9, Fermi, Fermi. I know that there's the Fermi lab outside of Chicago, and so is this related to that? Probably. I think it was an Italian guy with the last name Fermi. Maybe that's this. 10, fine. 11, finish. 12, fluid or fluidness. 12, focal length. Gotta have a videography person for that episode. I mean, I can talk some about it. 14, folio. 15, oh, this is interesting. What are we doing here? In brackets, it says following, and then the rest of it says, and the following one. So I think what this means is the part in the brackets is the etymology. So the actual abbreviation is for, and the following one. So if you see F, it might mean, and the following one, and it comes from the F from following. Okay, interesting. I don't know what context that gets used exactly. 16, force. The force is strong with this one. 17, forte. 18, fragile. No, it's pronounced fragile. Fragile, but I like to say fragile. 19, frequency. 20, from, and 21, full. I am already so full of F's. Okay, yes, all the abbreviations. It's a whole list of words I believe are alphabetical that we will be covering over the next 50 weeks. 50, there's an F word. 50 weeks the F's are going to go on for. And so we're going to talk about all those words at some point in the future. The next word is capital F. So the first two were lowercase f. Capital F, just the single letter F. First form, this is also an abbreviation for more things. More things. Number 1, Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. Such an odd scale compared to Celsius. Why? Number 2, I don't know how to pronounce this exactly. Farad or Farad. Let's just do a quick look into our future, our near future, F-A-R-A-D. It's Farad. Farid. Yeah, that's pretty much right. I don't know what it means. I've never heard of this word. Number 3, French. And number 4, Friday. Friday, the best day, because, well, it's not the best day, but it's the day that we are so happy that we have gotten to, because then it's the weekend after that. Friday. The second form of capital letter F is a symbol for fluorine or fluorine. What's the proper way to pronounce this word? Fluorine. I don't know. The next word, I guess it's our first official word. I put in air quotes. It's the word fa. F-A. This is a noun from the 13th century, and it is the fourth tone of the diatonic scale in solmization. Solmization. And a couple of days ago, I was talking to a coworker, and we were talking about the dictionary and what I got coming up, and I said, I'm about to start the F's, and he was like, oh, well, what's the first, official F word? And so I looked, and I said, it's fa. And I read the definition, and I said, I don't know what solmization is. What is solmization? And I looked it up, and it is literally the act of putting words to the different notes in a scale. And I guess it comes from sol and mi, which are two of those words we typically think of. Sol, la... Oh, boy. I should sing the song. That's the only way that I know how to do it. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But I don't understand why they picked sol and mi. It's not... You'd think they would take the first two, maybe? Like ABCdarian? But they picked sol and mi, and I don't know. I just find that odd. I don't know why, but it's interesting. And so it is the fourth tone. We already said it's the fourth tone of the C major scale. But the thing is, when you say fa, it just so happens maybe that they're both F, because this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is just the names for the notes in the diatonic scale, but it doesn't matter what scale it is. Is it a C scale? Is it an A scale? It doesn't matter which one. They're just the names for which notes. The first one is do. The second one is re. Do, re. Yes. Okay. So we have some etymology for this one. It says it's Middle English from Middle Latin, which is from the syllable sung to this note in a medieval hymn to St. John the Baptist. I think I might have to put some information in the show notes for this one. What was the hymn to St. John the Baptist? It was sung to him. The syllable sung to this note in a medieval hymn. So it's just, okay, well, I'm so curious now. What's the etymology of all the other ones? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do is the same do. Do, a deer. Interesting. The fourth note, they said fa for some reason, probably in Latin. And now it's fa. in solmization. The next word is FA, all caps. Abbreviation for 1. Field artillery. 2. Fielding average. I think that is probably in baseball. What's your FA? Oh, my FA is 1,000%. 3. Football association. The football association. Is this like the soccer football? Or is this a different? It's probably the soccer football. FA. The next word is FAA, all caps, abbreviation for 1. Federal Aviation Administration. This is the administration that is administering all of the proper bureaucracy and stuff for planes, things that fly. The drones. I might get drone certified through work, so I guess I'll have to deal with the FAA in some way. I probably just have to be like, yep, I did all my hours. Thank you for the certificate. Number 2 for FAA is free of all average. Free of all average. And I don't understand what that means. So, free of all average. What does this phrase mean? It's a law phrase. Free of all average is a term used in maritime law to describe an insurance policy that covers only total loss. It is abbreviated as FAA. An example of free of all average insurance would be a policy that covers a ship only if it sinks or is completely destroyed. If you're worried that your ship might sink or be completely destroyed, blown up to smithereens by your battleship, then you would want some FAA insurance. It is weird that we have an FAA thing for boats, but we also have an FAA thing for planes. And that's confusing, but not to the legal people, not to the maritime law people. Okay, the next word is fab. It's an adjective from 1957, and the synonym is, of course, fabulous. Fabulous. We'll see fabulous, I think, in the next episode. Yes, definitely. Fabulous. We like to say fab for some reason because it's so much shorter to say than fabulous. The next word is Fabian. Fabian. If I remember correctly, in my freshman year, high school freshman year yearbook, they mixed up a couple of names, and I believe that they put somebody named Fabian for my picture. If I will have to look into it, and I had a terrible picture. Oh my gosh. Terrible picture. So for a while, some of my friends were calling me Fabian. Capital Fabian, adjective from 1638. There's a few definitions here. Ooh, we got a lot of information for Fabian. 1a, of, relating to, or in the manner of the Roman general Quintus Fabius Maximus, known for his defeat of Hannibal in the Second Punic War by the avoidance of decisive contests. So something like that, if something like that happens, it's described as Fabian. Relating to or in the manner of the Roman general Quintus Fabius Maximus. I don't know how to pronounce those exactly. And he was known for his defeat of Hannibal. So he defeated Hannibal in the Second Punic War by the avoidance of decisive contests. So he defeated Hannibal by avoiding decisive contests? Is that what this says? I don't know. 1b, the synonyms are cautious and dilatory. And so, yes, it sounds like maybe Quintus Fabius Maximus was very cautious, and that is why he defeated Hannibal. Defeat of Hannibal. That makes me think that he defeated Hannibal. Otherwise, I think it would say defeat by Hannibal, maybe. Number 2. This is a long one. Well, there's a long etymology. This is of, relating to, or being a society of socialists organized in England in 1884 to spread socialist principles gradually. Just slowly, not quickly, gradually. That's the better way to do things, I think. So this is from, of course, the Fabian Society, and that is from the members' belief in slow rather than revolutionary change in government. Slow change rather than revolutionary change, which would typically be much quicker, faster. And I definitely think that there's some sense to that. I think that slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes things that are very fast, more spontaneous, I don't know, they're not as good, they don't stick as well, maybe. So I think, yeah, if things are done more slowly, like evolution is done more slowly, typically, then, yeah, it sticks better. Because everything has time to adjust. But that doesn't say why they called the society the Fabian Society, does it? No, I don't think that explains that, unless it's related to Quintus Fabius Maximus, but I don't know. I don't know if it is. Fabian is also a noun, and Fabianism, that is also a noun. So that's, I would think that would be more related to the society. So I guess if you want to make change slowly, then maybe you would be considered Fabian. You could be called Fabian. And I'm very curious about this Quintus Fabius Maximus. And why did they do Fabian for his middle name Fabius or Fabius instead of Quintus or Maximus? Maybe we need to put a link in the show notes for Quintus Fabius Maximus. I just love saying that name. QFM. Here on QFM. Okay. The next word is the first form of the word fable. Fable. This is a noun from the 14th century. A fictitious narrative or statement. So that's what it is. It is a fictitious narrative or statement. A legendary story of supernatural happenings. Jack and the Beanstalk, The Three Little Pigs, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. I mean, Disney has done all of the fables, most of the fables. A legendary story of supernatural happenings, and they're typically to show some sort of moral at the end. We're going to give you a supernatural tale of times of yore to teach you a lesson, you children. Number B. B is a narration intended to enforce a useful truth. There you go. That's the moral part right there. A useful truth. It's a truth, and it's useful to know in your daily life, your day-to-day life. But especially one in which animals speak and act like human beings. Like, of course, the Three Little Pigs. Let's just find examples of fables. I know also, like, indigenous people tend to have a lot of fables. Native Americans. This is how the snake became a snake. Or I feel like in older African countries, they have a lot of fables. I feel like those are the first two that really come. But, of course, there's a lot of other ones. There's, here, examples. The Boy Who Cried Wolf, The Lion and the Boy Who Cried Wolf. Quickly, what's the moral? How do you put that? Don't be a butthead and don't lie over and over again, because then people aren't gonna think that you're lying when you're really having problems. That's a sort of a succinct way to say that. The Lion and the Mouse. This is the story about the lion who gets a thorn in his paw or their paw, and the mouse, this tiny little weak creature, helps the lion, and then the lion is so grateful. So I think it's a story about big and mighty and small and weak or something, and how you can help each other, and you should help each other. The Frog and the Ox. I don't remember that story. The ant and the grasshopper. Oh, Bug's Life is all about this one. There's a whole bunch of ants, and the grasshoppers are like, we're bigger than you and stronger, so we can take you over, and so we're gonna have control. But the ants are like, there's a whole lot of us, and we can take you down. So be cool, man. The Fox and the Grapes. Is this... Oh, and then there's the Crow and the Pitcher. I don't know. Those might be similar. The Crow and the Pitcher is the one about... I think it's about... Is that one about putting the things in the pitcher so the water gets up high? And I don't know what the moral is there. The Tortoise and the Hare. This is the slow and steady wins the race. This is it right there. I reference this one a lot because I'm a big fan of slow and steady. The Town Mouse and... Is this the City Mouse? The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. I don't know what the moral is there. I don't remember the exact story. The Dog and his Reflection. The dog saw his reflection and he was like, I'm sexy. Okay, we have one more for fable, which is the synonyms falsehood and lie. Ooh, are you trying to say that all those stories about animals talking like humans are falsehoods and lies? No, it's like, oh, you're telling me a tall tale. You're telling me a fable. You're lying to me. A lion and the mouse. This word is from the Latin fabula, which means conversation or story or play. Also from fari, F-A-R-I, which means to speak. And then there's more at the word ban. So this is... They would tell stories, the oral tradition. They would tell stories all those many years ago. They would... Stories, plays, and of course many of those were these moral tales and things. And so they were speaking the stories, and that's how it's all tied together. Fabula became fable, and maybe also fabulous. That's my sound today. The second form of the word fable, this is a verb from the 14th century, starting with intransitive, which is archaic, and it means to tell fables. I'm going to fable you a fable right now. I did it. I told you a fable. Now we have transitive, which is to talk or write about as if true. You're talking about a thing. To talk or writing about a thing as if it were true, but it's not. So you're fabling. You're telling a lie, a falsehood. Dirty liar. Fabler is a noun. Yes, this is definitely where we think you're a fabler. You're lying to us. You're doing all those tall tales. Okay, of course this has the same etymology, so we're going to move on to the next word, which is fabled with a D. Adjective from 1602. Number 1, the synonym is fictitious. Fictitious. Again, of course, it's all about the lies. Number 2, told or celebrated in fables. Told or celebrated in fables. Fabled. It's all about the fables. The fablemans. I think some people have a difficult time with the name of that Spielberg movie, The Fablemans. It's like, is it too on the nose or something? They're telling fables, telling lies. Number 3, the synonyms are renowned and famous, as in the team's fabled coach. This coach is so renowned and famous because they're like they go down in the history books with all those other fables, the lions and the mice and the dogs and the wolves and the crows and the fox and the ants and the grasshoppers and the tortoises and the hares. We got multiple mice in this situation, and the frogs and the oxes, and there's so many more, right? The gooses, the wolves, the lambs, the ass, more lions, goats, cranes, more mice, gnats, bulls. Wow, I don't know these stories. Okay, getting off track, man. Let's see, that is fabled. The next word is fabliau. Fabliau. This is spelled F-A-B-L-I-A-U. Noun from 1804. The plural, I shall tell you, is fablios with a Z sound because it is spelled, you add an X at the end. Fablios with an X. It's French, of course. This is a short, usually comic, frankly coarse, and often cynical tale in verse, popular especially in the 12th and 13th centuries. Which is interesting that this word is from 1804, which is the 19th century, and it was popular in the 12th and 13th centuries. Did they not have a name for it for 700 years? Fabliau. Okay. Well, it is French, from Old French, diminutive of the word fable. Of course, it's all related to that. Because it is a short tale, often cynical, usually comic, usually funny, hilarious, ha ha ha, and it is frankly coarse. It's coarse in a very frank way. Like, just sort of blunt, get to the point, maybe? I want an example of a fabliau. Okay, next word. Is fabric. Noun from the 15th century. Number 1A. The synonyms are structure and building. Fabric. I don't know if I've ever heard of a structure or a building called fabric. 1B. 1B. By the way, I'm looking at like how I laid out these episodes, these next few episodes, and because I don't know, we gotta. It's a weird section. So I think I'm doing a lot more today than typical. But hey, you're getting a long first F episode. Okay, back to 1B for fabric. This is underline structure. The synonym is framework. Framework. That's the fabric. I don't understand. I've never used fabric in this way. Oh, but yes, actually I have, because the example is the fabric of society. It is the underlying structure of fabric of society. What makes up society? The people who are working to keep society going, they would be the fabric of society. 2. An act of constructing, and the synonym is erection. Erecting a building, constructing it, building it, fabric. So the act of doing it is fabric. Well, I think of more the next few words, but it's all related. Specifically, the construction and maintenance of a church building would be fabric. The act of building the church is fabric. 3A. Structural plan or style of construction. The structural plan is the fabric, or the style of construction is fabric. And I'm not entirely sure, again, how this is all fabric. It's just not ways that I'm familiar with fabric being used. Okay, 3B, the synonyms are texture and quality, and this is used chiefly of textiles. So the texture, the quality of the textile is fabric. Now it could be fabric, but it's the texture or the quality is fabric. I don't really understand how that's used. Okay, 3C is the arrangement of physical components like soil in relation to each other. Did I skip? I think I might have skipped something. The arrangement of physical components. No, I didn't. The arrangement of physical components in relation to each other is the fabric. So this is, you got some soil here and you got this other soil here, and they're coming together, and it's all this soil and things make the fabric of what's under you. Sure. 4A, The synonym is the 1A definition for the word cloth. It's a piece of cloth. This is how I think of fabric. I'm wearing fabric. It's a clothy cloth. I got fabric on my pants too. Fabric on my legs. That's what I meant to say. 4B. A material that resembles cloth can also be called fabric. What resembles cloth that isn't cloth? Paper? Number 5. The appearance or pattern produced by the shapes and arrangement of the crystal grains in a rock. The appearance or pattern produced by the shapes and arrangement of the crystal grains in a rock. Ooh, look at the fabric in that rock. It's so interesting. It's got waves and colors and speckles. We all love speckles. Way more definitions for fabric than I would have expected. This word is from the Middle French, fabrique, which is from Latin fabrica, which means workshop or structure. So that, a lot of those definitions definitely seemed like they were more about the workshop and the structure of a thing and how it became like fabric cloth that we wear is very interesting. I don't know how that happened. Obviously, why would I know? I don't know anything, which is why I'm reading the dictionary. Okay, but we got some related word. Here we go. Next word is fabricant. It's fabric with an A-N-T. This is a noun from 1757, and the synonym is manufacturer. The one who is creating the thing. They are the fabricant. Right? Okay. Next is fabricate. The fabricant is fabricating. This is a verb from the 15th century. Is it just transitive? I think it is. 1A. The synonyms are invent and create. Creating a thing from nothing. Fabricate. I am so impressed with fabricators. There's that show that's not on anymore called Making It with Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman, and those people fabricated stuff. They took things and they made new things. They invented, they created. There was also that show Face Off, which isn't on anymore, which is all about special effects makeup, and those people, not only were they making special effects makeup on people's faces and stuff, but they also fabricated like crazy costumes and things. And I'm very impressed with people who can make stuff. I don't make things at all. 1B. This is to make up for the purpose of deception. Ooh. The example is accused of fabricating evidence. You are creating, inventing, making up evidence. So it's not smart. It's not smart to fabricate evidence. What do you think is going to happen when you fabricate evidence? 2. The synonyms are construct and manufacture, very similar to invent and create. But specifically, to construct from diverse and usually standardized parts. These are very standardized parts. People all over the world are using these parts. These parts right here in my hands. But they're also diverse. There's a whole bunch of them. Whole bunch of different types, but they're standard. So you put all those together to create a thing. You got the Lincoln Logs. You got the Erector set. You're using all of these standard and diverse parts to create a new thing. Legos, all of those things. You can fabricate something with all those things. I have some Legos over there that I may leave in the box. I don't know. Those were the definitions for that one. Fabricator, with an O-R, is a noun. Of course, that would totally be a superhero in the comic book world. The Fabricator is just making stuff. Anytime that the villain is trying to stop the superhero's like, I'm just gonna make something to stop you from this stuff. The stuff I got right here. These diverse and standard pieces. This word is from the Latin fabricatus, which is from the verb fabricare. Does not say what that means, but I would assume it means something about constructing, inventing, creating, manufacturing, building, something like that. Which, by the way, obviously seems very related to the word fabric. The Latin word there, fabrica, means workshop or structure, and fabricare probably means to build, to create in your work. So the fabrica is the place where you do the fabricare, the building in the workshop. Fantastic. Okay, I think we've got one more word for this episode. It is the word fabrication. Noun from the 15th century. Number 1, the act or process of fabricating. And number 2, a product of fabrication, especially, where did you go? The synonyms are lie and falsehood. Oh, and can't you see that there's a connection to, etymologically, a connection to the word fable? Because that part of that was about falsehoods and lies. Literally, the synonyms were falsehood and lie, and here the synonyms are lie and falsehood. So you are fabricating a fabrication when you tell a fable. I never even thought that those words would be connected, but of course they are. Of course they are. And maybe you've got a workshop where you're creating your fables. All right, that was it for the words. And now I get to pick a word of the episode. I get to do it. You don't get to do it, but you can if you want, and you can contact me in any way. All the information is in the show notes. You can contact me and tell me what your word of the episode would have been. We had today fa, faa, fab, Fabian, fable, fable, fabled, fabliau, fabric, fabricant, fabricate, and fabrication. Oh, well, I mean, I'm tempted to pick fab, because that's a fun word. Also, maybe fables are fun. Fables are fun. What else? Fabliau is just a very fun word to say, especially the plural, fabliaux. Maybe we can find an example of let's see if we can spell this, fabliau. Examples of fabliau in modern English are the butcher of Abbeville, a distant analog of the shipman's tale. We also have the tale of the priest's bladder. That's an analog of the summoner's tale. There's also Gombert and the Two Clerks. Anyway, I don't know any fabliaux. What am I going to pick? Well, I think just because it's a fun word to say, I will pick fabliau. When you're riding fabliaux, when you're riding fabliaux, you're feeling really fab. They're also fables made by fabrication. Yeah, okay. Oh, those were all the words. I'm trying to get back into the habit of this read in the dictionary thing. And so I hope you're enjoying it, of course. I must now tell you, because I'm behind, I'm so very behind on the most important part of these episodes, which is when I tell you about a movie. And I left off, it's so far away. Let's see, I think Toy Story 4 might have been the last one I'd said. Maybe? Godzilla vs. Kong. I watched these couple of movies backwards. Was it called A New Empire first? And then I watched Godzilla vs. Kong, which is where they do fight and stuff. And it's fun. I think I liked the second one better. I don't know if it's because I came in blind, but I don't know. I think I just had such a good time watching that movie. But yes, it's fun. These are just fun big monster movies. Old. I finally got around to watching Old, and it's fun. And How Did This Get Made has an episode about it, which they just re-aired. I don't know if it's available when you're listening to this, but it's a fun episode to talk about how kind of silly the movie is, but it's also fun to watch people age very quickly on a beach in one day. The Donut King, a documentary about a guy from, I want to say, Thailand or Vietnam. Oh, I can't remember. I'm so sorry. He came over when he was young. Or no, actually, I think he had a family by this point. And he came from a land of strife and came to America and just wanted to provide for his family. And he got into donut making. And it's fascinating. Now I really need to know where he's from, because it's important, because the country where he's from, so many people, especially in, I think, the LA area, Cambodia, that's where, so many of these donut shops are actually owned by Cambodian people because of this one guy. It's really a fascinating story. Thriller 40. A lot of these movies I saw on the plane when I was coming back from a work trip. Thriller 40, documentary about the Michael Jackson album Thriller, and sort of like the process of how it got made and people talking about the songs, and very fascinating on a fantastically classic album, which was big in my childhood because it came out when I was maybe 2 years old or something. And so, yes, that got played a lot when I was little on vinyl. I rewatched Barbie again on the plane because I just had some time and I was like, I don't really want to watch any of these other ones. I'll watch Barbie for the 7th time. Literally. It's how you can it's great. It's great. Okay. So much talking today. So many words and movies, and the F's have begun. People, the F's have begun. It's so exciting. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.